Prime Minister Dean Barrow met with union members, that should be with members of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, to discuss the proposed amendments to the Petro Caribe Loans Act and the union's concerns. Matura Shepherd is the president of the Christian Workers Union.
Focusing on what this discussion is we are looking at the amendments. We've heard out the Prime Minister. I must say he graciously conceded to some of the points that we've made, and one of the main points he conceded to was that the retrospectivity of it, as he said, was merely to get past or over the legal challenge, which was a position that I personally have already said and the union already recognized. But there were a lot of other points that were discussed, and what we will hear from our president is that we go back now to our General Council, discuss everything that was discussed at this meeting, and then move ahead with that. The big issue now is that we actually have an amendment. We have to go back and discuss it. One of the key, or two of the key offensive parts of the original act is not being changed, but there are other areas that we've been clamoring as a union, and I personally have spoken about against it directly when it comes to the issue of accountability and transparency. Those are being addressed. We were told that we could send in and submit any proposed changes we'd want, and that's what we will do.
Marvin Mora, president of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, explained that the National Trade Union Congress of Belize is not against the Petro Caribe bill. However, they are looking for transparency and accountability.
What I can tell you is the amendment itself that the government is proposing is addressing some of the major issues that in hindsight probably could have been addressed by the government then if they have done consultation. As a matter of fact, one of the things that the Prime Minister conceded is that he could have, and probably he should have, but in his wisdom as a leader, sometimes you have to take the bull by the horns and make certain decisions. Mind you, his his reasoning for so doing was basically to safeguard the program, according to what he explained to us in there. So one of the things that we are looking is the fact of the retrospectivity of the changes. But we are also looking at where we are and where we want to go. If you realize the NTUCB has never been against the Petro Caribe bill, and if that was out there, we have always clarified that. We've always, even in programs that were invited, we always made a position clear. We're not against the Petro Caribe fund. We're against the bill and how it basically circumvents some of the accountability and transparency measures that are within the Finance and Reform Act.
Mora further stated that the Prime Minister reiterated his position that the amendments will not allow for any administration to abuse the Petro Caribe funds.
The Prime Minister reiterated that he's open to receive any input from on behalf of the NTUCB that would strengthen the amendment to the act that he has proposed already. One of the things that we point blank asked the Prime Minister, actually was the last thing that we asked, that if he is confident that, let's say, the unthinkable for him would happen where his government would lose power in this upcoming or imminent upcoming elections, and you have a change of leadership in the government, if he is confident enough that not only the Petro Caribe bill, but the amendments that he's putting in are good enough so that it would not allow any other administration to abuse the Petro Caribe fund, and he said that he is 100% confident. Still, he opened up the doors not only for the Congress to inject something in that regard if it were possible, but also for other suggestions in regards to the Petro Caribe bill. So these are the things that we have to go back to our membership on, have discussions with them, get their feedback, and then formulate positions, make decisions on a go-forward basis. The conversation with the Prime Minister has started, and it has not done. Actually, it is starting.
The trade union has a time span of 2 weeks to make proposals on the amendment and present them to the Prime Minister.